All righty, this is Scott Walters, and you are watching the Walters Wanderings Travel Podcast. This is episode 13. So after Lucky 13, and with us today is going to be Eugune Gwozdz, a composer, arranger, musical bon vivant, and he'll be joining us in a second. As soon as I tell you that until the end of the year, that's December 31st, 2020, any travel you book with me anytime in 2021, you'll get $21 off each $1,000 of land or cruise fare. So doesn't include airfare, doesn't include insurance, but you'll get a good deal when you get in touch to go away. All right, here we go. This is Eugune Gwozdz here, live,
Hey,
and there he is, the
finally.
man with the Dallas Stars, ready to talk about all of that and much more. Eugene, let's start with something that was really intriguing a couple of years ago when you were on a Disney cruise as a musician.
Yes.
Several, more than one. That's amazing. First of all, the Disney cruise experience is unbelievable. I've done about 6 or 7 myself, although I've never done one with you being the piano player, but that's just the luck of the draw. So tell us about your experience on the Disney cruise as a musician.
Well, it happened where I happened to be a music director and pianist arranger for Broadway star Mandy Gonzalez. And she was in the Heights, and most recently, before COVID started, she was in Hamilton playing. She was. Oh God, I can't remember the character. Anyway, she was one of the leads in Hamilton, the one that Renee Goldsberry played. I can't remember. Angelica, maybe. Anyway,
maybe. Okay.
Okay, so I play most of her concerts. So she called and said that the Disney Cruise and Disney Theatrics wanted her to do a concert on one of the Disney cruises, and I believe it was on the Disney Magic, and so that's how we did it. So we went on 15 days. I had to meet Mandy. We met in Boston. I think I joined them in Boston, and then we were on. We did 4 shows, 2 on the big stage, and then we did 2 others in a little cabaret type setting that they had. It was so much fun, and it was amazing. The Disney cruises are amazing, especially if you have kids and stuff. But it was fun. And then I also played for Will and Anthony Nunziata, and they have a Disney concert that they created about the Sherman brothers, who wrote Mary Poppins and other Disney shows. And so we did several cruises where we went to Alaska, we went to Panama Canal. Mandy and I went to England, Ireland, Liverpool, and it was nice. Scotland, I think. Ooh, I don't know. And the Nunciatas, we went to Alaska, Panama Canal. I'm missing something. Anyway, we went 2 others. It was fun.
So tell me, what kind of accommodations do they give a performer on the ship? Did you get a nice balcony, or are you stuck with the crew in the crew quarters?
We get a nice room. At least I got a nice room, and we're treated like royalty. I mean, it was nice. Everything. We get a discount on the internet, which is big for me because I have to use the internet a lot. And no, but other than that, the only thing is we can't do the contests. We can't win bingo. We can't win any of those games. And that's a shame because I would have won one of those games. But no, we're not allowed to win any of those contests they have. But other than that, we're treated great. The dinners and all the food. It's just crazy. It was so nice. And it was good. I mean, the 15 days was a lot because...
That is a long time.
Well, yeah, for us, because we always have concerts. And so, Mandy and I learned from another Broadway star, Susan Egan, who was the original Belle on Broadway. She does a lot of Disney cruises, but what she taught us was that you don't have to go the whole 15 days. You can just meet them in the city like a few days before you're scheduled to perform. We only performed 2 days out of those 15 days, and they were back to back. you know. And so it was like, so we would have like 4 days. We would, one day we would rehearse like the day before, and then the next day we do the concert, and then the next day we go to the other place and do a concert, and then that was it. So then we have another like week of doing nothing. One time,
Wow. Just lounging by the pool and
well, yeah, and having all the. I love the interviews that they have at the. They have these great, like there was one lady that talked about the history of Disney and the
oh,
Disney.
sure.
I
Uh-huh.
can't remember her name, but she was great and all that. Mandy and I were so tired of, not tired, but we get bored. How do I say it? I mean, we loved doing what we were doing, and her daughter was with her, and it was fun. But we felt like the last week we wanted to perform again. So we even asked them if we could perform somewhere, and they put us in a place to perform, and it was so
Even
much
the
fun.
piano bar, right?
I think we did go to the piano bar, and they made it into a show, and we did an extra show, and because we just wanted to do something. I would also sit in with some of the other entertainment people. There was a couple that sang. They had like a karaoke track, but he played
Uh-huh.
piano, but sometimes she would sing and not play the piano. So, and he would play horn, and he would play sax. And so I asked him if I could sit in with them, and we ended up doing that a few days, where I would just walk by and I would see them, and they would, hey Eugene, come on over. And so I would jam with them and all that, and it was fun. And then, but with the Nunciatas, I learned that I would come like a day or two before we were going to perform, and then the next city that we would dock, then we would leave, so that I would be on for 3 or 4 days.
So
Now, if
that,
I had a family with me, I would obviously stay the whole,
sure.
2 weeks, because it's amazing. You
No,
know,
the sights you see and the things you can go see on a cruise are great. There's no
it
doubt.
was fun. I would do it again with my family next time. So it would be really fun.
Of course. No, it's good. Now, what other traveling besides the Disney cruises have you done to do music? You must have gone around some other places. Any good stories from those places?
Well, 2 years ago, I had this is travel. Boy, I had concerts in New York, which is where I'm based, and then I would have concerts. There was a string of concerts within 2 weeks, actually 10 days, where I would be in New York. Then I have to go to Columbus, Ohio. Then we traveled to Singapore. This is with the Nunciata brothers. Go to Singapore for 3 days. Then we came back and went somewhere else. Where did we go? It was like crazy. I think we went to like Indiana or something, or
That is nuts. That's a
it
nuts
was
schedule.
crazy. And then I had to come back to New York after that and do a big show at 54 Below. So within the 10 days, it was crazy. I went from New York to Ohio to Singapore to I think it was a small city, and it was like either Indiana or maybe it was Wisconsin. Anyway, it was something like that. Then I had to come back to New York and do a concert the next night with 54 Below, which is a big uh, nightclub in New York. It's Feinstein's 54 Below, by the way.
Yes, we understand. You have to add that up so he'll get upset.
Yeah, and Mike's a great guy too. So
No,
Michael.
listen, of course, but he likes to remind people that it's his place. So there you go.
Now with COVID-19, I had the most interesting travel since I finally got to perform again. I haven't, March 14th was my last concert, and then I haven't did any concerts until September, and I had to go. I was hired to go do a cabaret concert series in Fort Worth, my hometown in Fort Worth, Texas, at the Casa Manana Theater, where they would do a socially distance. They turned their stage into a nightclub where they separated the tables, where it's socially distant and safe. The people wear masks and all that. And I had to do a Whitney Houston show, and this is in October. And the interesting thing is, at that time, when you leave New York and you have to come back to New York, you have to be quarantined for 14 days.
It's amazing. Yes.
Yeah, my problem was I had concerts scheduled in Fort Worth 1 week in October, but then I had a week off. Normally, I would fly back to New York and then come back for the next week to do another Casa Manana
Sure.
concert. And then the week after that, I had to go to Arizona to do a Broadway Fright Night concert. The problem is, I knew that if I went back to New York, I wouldn't be able to come back for the second round of the concerts, and then I wouldn't be able to come back and then do the Arizona. So my wife suggested that I stay in Fort Worth, and luckily I have my family and friends. So what I did is we did the Whitney Houston show. Then I had a week off, and I stayed at my niece's in-laws, who are 2 minutes away from the theater, and they also let me use their car, which was nice because
Got to get the Whataburger. You know, it's just
and then
like
I went to Whataburger, of course, and then the next week I went back to the hotel. The theater, can only afford to put me
right. Sure.
Yeah, under contract. So then I did the Frank Sinatra show. Then I had 10 days before I had to leave to go to Arizona. So I went back to my niece's in-laws, who were very nice, and I had a car and all that. And then I flew to Arizona and did my Halloween concert, then went back to New York. Then New York changed the policy going back to New York from Arizona, because I had a concert 5 days later. The new policy was you take a COVID test the first day you're back in New York, and then take another one 4 days later.
Right.
And if you're negative, then you don't have to quarantine. And
that's right.
I was. Now, I just recently came back on Sunday from Fort Worth again. I did a Motown Christmas show. And now the new thing is you have to take a test 3 days within 3 days before you leave to go back to New York, which I did. I got negative. And then on the fourth day, take another test, which is today. I have to go after we're done. I'm going to go do a COVID
There
test.
you go. Yeah, it's a crazy thing these days. Of course, maybe if you flew into Newark.
I don't know. You know what? Maybe. I don't know. Is it the same in Newark?
Well, Newark is New Jersey, so how can they really enforce it? Just saying.
I don't know how they're enforcing it because.
Well, trust me, I have my own stories I could tell about that because I went to Mexico in September and I came back and trust me, they're understaffed for sure.
Yeah,
when it comes to getting in contact with you, there's no doubt.
So you fill out a form on the plane.
Yeah, you filled it out on the way back, and you say you're gonna be a good boy for 14 days because I was back in September, and there you go. But like I said, they didn't call me until the 6th day, so there you have it. They said, "Oh, we'll call you every day." They never did.
No, they called me a few days, and I just left a message, and then I texted you. They haven't talked to me yet. And
well, there you go.
On Sunday, they didn't even ask for your phone number.
But it's like I say, it's a changeable feast, and there you go. Now, I have to talk to you because I know this is a famous story that you like to tell about Larry Gatlin.
Oh, God.
And the Van Cliburn piano.
Oh, that's a great one.
That is a great story. I want to hear it.
I forgot about that one.
No, I didn't.
Okay, I met Larry Gatlin and I are friends. We met, this is way back in the 80s, 1980s. This is last century. So what happens is I'm from Fort Worth. My family my father was a Tarrant County medical examiner in Fort Worth and big supporter of the symphony and arts. We were actually friends with Van Cliburn, the pianist who lived in Fort Worth. And we were friends. We knew each other. So I met Larry Gatlin because I did this TV special for ABC in 1986, and he was on it, and I met him, and then he came to Fort Worth like 2 or 3 months after that, and so we got together. I went to his concert, and Van Cliburn was there, and after the concert, Van Cliburn saw me backstage with Larry, and Van Cliburn was giving a party at his mansion, beautiful house in Fort Worth. It's a big mansion, has he had grand pianos in almost every room, Steinways and stuff. And he invited me to come to his house along with the Larry Gatlin people. So I went, and on one of his pianos, Larry Gatlin had this idea of a song. And so he asked Larry Gatlin. We had all the people that were there, the Gatlin brothers and the band, and several of Van Cliburn's friends. Prominent Fort Worth people, and the Fort Worth Symphony conductor was John Giordano. He was there. So Larry goes, I have this idea for a song. I'm just inspired. And he goes, Van, do you know the Beethoven's Fifth? And Van, of course, said, oh, no, I can't do it, but Eugene can do it. So Van got me to play this song with Larry Gatlin. Said, we're going to do Beethoven's Fifth. When I tell you to do this certain movement of Beethoven's Fifth, play it. And then it's going to be a boogie in the key of C. I go, okay. So he would give me chord changes while we were doing it. And then he goes, okay, play the Beethoven's Fifth thing, which is, I have my piano here, by the way. Can you hear it?
Yeah, we hear it.
Okay. So Larry we would do the boogie in C. And then he goes, okay, do the Beethoven's Fifth thing. And I go, and what this is it's actually the song that he created called Boogie for Beethoven. And it's on YouTube. I think I'm not on it, but I was the first one to play it because I helped him create it. And it's sort of cool. And God, you know what? And then, God, was it 7 years ago? 7 years ago, I was in Washington, D.C. My brother Lee, who runs a big Catholic church choir, he was doing a big arrangement of my America the Beautiful. And he was doing a concert in July 4th in D.C. This is
right,
7
the
years
big
ago.
concert, sure.
Larry Gatlin, I was actually performing outside, and I saw that his name was there. I saw Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin brothers are performing. So I called Larry. I have his number, and I called him. Hey, I'm in D.C. So Larry asked me. He was actually at the White House, and Bush was the president at the time.
Okay.
And so he said, "Oh, I'm at the White House right now, but why don't you join us at the concert? Come to the concert tonight." So
Can't
I met
say
him
no.
before the concert, and it was an outdoor concert. It was so funny because before he did Boogie for Beethoven, he actually stopped. And I didn't know he was going to do this. He says he told the story to the people in D.C. and he made me stand up. They put a spotlight on me when I stood up out, and he had
There
me
you
stand
go.
up. And I
See?
did this first with Eugene Gwozdz, and he happens to be here from Fort Worth. And
There you have it.
Yeah, that was cool. I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me.
Well, like I said, it's a great story. There's no doubt. Now, I also think you did. Did you do something with Hank Aaron?
Oh yes. Oh, it was
like for his birthday or something?
Yeah, that was through Neil Berg, who's another great composer arranger. Neil did concerts and stuff, and his wife, he happens to know Hank Aaron. He's done stuff for Hank Aaron and his wife's what do you call it, charity work that they do in Atlanta. And the problem is Neil had broken his hand and couldn't play, so his wife was going to sing. So he had me come over and to Atlanta to play the 3 special songs that Hank Aaron wanted. And so I got to meet Hank Aaron. I played for Rita Harvey, who was Neil Berg's wife.
Right.
And she sang like 2 or 3 songs, and I had to play it because Neil couldn't play. He actually hurt his hand playing softball.
Yeah, well, Neil's a big softball, baseball guy. I know that.
Yes. Yeah, he was. So something happened to his wrist or hand, and he couldn't play, and I had to sub for him. And of course, I was so excited to meet Hank Aaron and his wife. It was a thrill. That was cool.
No kidding. He actually, Hank Aaron and my father share the same birthday, same
cool.
day and year. That is cool.
I remember watching him break the record, and it was on the Monday Night Baseball. Actually,
it was a Monday Night Baseball game against the Dodgers.
I'll never forget that.
That's true. Now, your brother Lee, who I know before I knew you.
Yes, that's how we met.
Right, exactly. Is it true he actually was the organist for the Texas Rangers baseball team?
Yeah. In fact, it can go even further. The reason why I'm a big hockey fan is because Lee and my other brother, older brother Richard, were organists and were asked to play at the Fort Worth Wings game. They were the minor league team of the New York Islanders at the time. This is in the 70s. I fell in love with the game. and so he played the organ at Lee and Rick played the organ at the games. And then the Texas Rangers, and that's actually the year, second year of Billy Martin being the manager, that Lee was asked to play at the games. And it was fun. He played at the Texas Ranger games, and my God, let's see, like Mike Hargrove played for us, and Toby Hara. I remember that. And
Jeff Burrows was probably on that team.
What?
Jeff Burrows was probably on the team too.
And Billy Martin was actually fired in the middle of that season, which is
well, that's not unusual.
Yeah, but he was a great manager. It was fun, and I would go with my brother. I played a couple of Ranger games too when my brother couldn't do it, and then I hated playing at the hockey games because I would get too involved. And I mean, I would bang on the organ, and the referee would call bad calls, and I would bang on the organ and play Three Blind Mice. And my brother, actually, the Central Hockey League made a rule that if the organist plays Three Blind Mice, that the team will get a delay of game penalty, 2 minutes. And I think that's still a rule, and that was because of my brothers and I, because we would play Three Blind Mice.
That is funny.
You're talking in the 70s when.
Well, that is funny stuff. So, any other stories you want to regale with before we close it off?
Well, what do you want to know? Well, for Broadway people, everyone likes to hear that I help. Betty Buckley's a Fort Worth native. She was in Cats, won a Tony for Cats, and has been on TV and movies, and she's a big Broadway star. And I helped teach her memory before she sang it for Andrew Lloyd Webber. That's a neat story.
That's a good story. That's a good one.
What else do you want to know?
Nah, I think that sounds like it's sufficient. Oh, by the way, I'm a Fort Worth native too.
Is that right?
Yes, I was born at the old Carswell Air Force Base Hospital.
Oh yeah, Carswell. My brothers and I used to play at the little chapel there.
So yes, Carswell Air Force Base. I don't think it's there anymore. I think it's a shopping mall or something. But
no, it's still there.
No, it's still there. Then there you go. But I was born at the hospital there.
It's
some 58 years ago. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing. So you're a Fort Worth native.
Fort Worth proud. That's right.
Wow.
So listen, this is good stuff, and I think it's excellent to be able to talk with someone who's had experience traveling and playing music and making music and giving people a good time, because I know that's what you're all about. So
yeah, I'm going to go to Milwaukee. Lee's at Milwaukee at the Basilica now. And
yes, I know that. I saw that.
Yeah, I'm going to help him with his midnight mass and Christmas.
Well, there you go. At least there is a midnight mass. My local church, the last mass is at 8 o'clock. It's like. That's the way it goes. I'll find one at midnight though.
They'll be socially distanced. Where are you?
Yeah,
you're in Pittsburgh.
I'm in the suburbs of New York City, so I'll find a midnight mass. There's going to be one. It won't be hard to find one.
No.
So, anyways, listen, buddy. I really appreciate you being on board today.
I
thank you so much. And I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna sign off for everybody else. So again, I appreciate you coming along, Eugene Gwozdz. Great stories and good stuff. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Yes, happy holidays.
New Year. So
that was Eugene Gwozdz with lots of good stories. Again, $21 off of each, $1,000 that you can spend on a vacation, land or cruise fare. So I really appreciate you being in touch and going away. And I'll look for you for the next Walter's Wandering Travel podcast. We have more great stuff coming up between now and the end of the year. Take care.